attempt to speed things along, we're going to introduce our next guest right away. It's Joe Esposito. He's going to speak to us on smart meters.
Good morning. Joe Esposito from Owasso. I got a call. Owasso was the pilot for smart meters in Oklahoma, or one of the cities. I think there was two. Norman might have been the other. And they sent out a flyer, and they were suggesting that they're going to tell us about being the pilot. And so we called the power company, and I said, I really don't want to be a pilot because I don't live in Owasso. I live in Telsey County, north of Telsey County. And we talked a little bit, and the young man said, well, your wife may have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do laundry. I said, you tell her that. And I said, I do not want that thing. Well, I came home one night from work, and it was on my house. And I had no control, no say over that. I didn't know what to do about a year and a half ago. And, life goes on. And so you kind of forget. Well, November the 7th of this last year, I was kind of reviewing some internet sites, and I found one by Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, YouTube, 43 minutes, and I called to my wife. I said, we really need to watch this. This is the first thing I've seen lately. So we did, and I was stunned. We both were stunned to understand what was happening with smart meters. And then on top of that, we had one. And so I did what he suggested. He suggests you take a sheet of lead and you put it, how you can't put it behind the meter, but you could put it around it, which I did. So I got a sheet of lead and put it there. And I was having some issues where I had a pain in my groin that went down to my foot. It took about 5 or 6 months to get there. And it ached like a toothache. It was very kind of painful. And I couldn't stand still like this. I had to kind of keep doing this thing. It was rather not a good thing. And then at night, my front teeth, my bottom teeth, and the roof of my mouth felt like someone poured a pack of Alka-Seltzer in it. And you could actually almost hear it. That wasn't good, and I thought I was going to lose my teeth. I'm not a fan of the medical community, so I did concrete work for 30 years. And so I was very sick back then. I've learned a lot of things over the last 15 years, so I really haven't been to a physician like most people. So I kind of work through things, and I look at health challenges as something new to learn. So I did this meter, or this lead. It was about, it's probably this in my pocket. You're not supposed to put it in your pocket, probably. So I put it on in Friday afternoon. By 1 o'clock in the morning, okay, after I put the lead between the meter and myself, and so I'm sleeping in a recliner now out in the living room. So that meter is directly, parallel or just straight behind a straight line. By 1 o'clock, I woke up, no teeth, no leg problem, have none since. That was stunning to me. And so I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I was watching some YouTubes because on November the 7th, I was up for 3 nights straight, trying to learn as fast as I could about what I was dealing with, and I was looking for some kind of legalese to know what to do. And so then it was pretty interesting. I saw some YouTubes where they put a window screen wire over that meter, and it kind of helped a little bit. I said, okay, window screen wire. So I went down to Jones Aluminum, and I bought a 6-foot by 20-foot, laid it there on the floor, put my chair on it, and then threw it over the top. That helped dramatically. But I realized I didn't have any side panels, so the next night I built side panels, and then the next night after that I put a aluminum ground. So I grounded what they call it is a Faraday cage. And, and so I grounded it, and it was stunning. I'm just telling you, if you've been through what I've been through, and the pain, and all these things happening to you during the night, night's the most dangerous. It's your parasympathetic system. I woke up the next morning, I was laying there in my chair, and I went, I hear the clock ticking in the kitchen, and I could hear my stomach growling, and it's daylight. I mean, I was like floating. I felt really good. I didn't want to get out. It was just an amazing thing. And I thought, well, this is gonna last a couple of weeks, and this is 4 months ago, November the 7th. And I've been on this for the last 3 or 4 months, big time, I mean, not little. And so when this happened to me, I don't know if Representative Kern's down there, I went January the 8th and delivered to every House and Senate, the governor, lieutenant governor, and corporation commission this document. And it's a document of my statement of concerns about smart meters. I asked that they be stopped and immediately replaced with the analogs because my research showed Safety Code 6 is the standard for the world. Is that right? I think that's pretty much. And that was in Canada, and the FCC took that from Canada. They only looked at thermal effects, no biological effects. And what is really stunning is within the last 3 weeks in a superior court in Canada, they admitted that. So if you understand the standard for the world just admitted that they only looked at thermal effects and no biological effects, that makes everything they did invalid, which makes the FCC invalid, in my opinion. So I'm trying to tell you that because what's thrown in our face all the time when you talk to these people or the power company, well, we're going right by the FCC. You know, we don't have to really go anything else, FCC. But do you understand that's invalid anymore? We have a window here. We have a crack in the system. And so this is just, I think, tremendously huge. Okay, so this document I took, and there's others, but so I got better, and I've been getting better because I sleep in a Faraday cage at night. All right, so here, let me show you what I've been learning. I have a gigahertz meter. Nobody in the state of Oklahoma has one of these that I know of. They're $1,000. It's Gigahertz Meter Solutions. They come from Germany. It's bought from Safe Living Technologies in Canada. We put it on peak. This is a directional antenna. We have omnidirectional. It shows 200 microwatts to 2,000 microwatts. And let me just show you some readings so you understand this. If I go inside of a metal building, the reading is 0.1. Okay, that's very, very good. That's as low as this meter reads. A Faraday cage I sleep in, 0.4. Do you understand there's a BioInitiative report that just came out December of 2012. It's a 1,079 page report from scientists over the world, in a very good document. They're saying you get sperm damage because they've done the biologicals that was always done by thermal. Okay, that's all they talked about was thermal, heating, right? And the way they did it, they had a dummy, they stuck a meat probe in its head and had filled it with some kind of simulated brain stuff, stuck a cell phone for there for only 6 minutes, and said this is the standard. That is not science, I'm sorry. Okay, and so sperm damage occurs at 3.4 microwatts per meter squared. Dietrich Klinghardt, who is an MD, he's telling you if a pregnant woman sleeps in a bed room over 0.5 microwatts, you're looking at an autistic child. Okay, and this is huge. Normal land, if you go out to the country, and I've been to El Reno, I've been to Muskogee. I just got back from spending a couple days in Ardmore, where I went to get my steers up north. The normal reading when you walk out on a piece of land is 1.2. I want you to grasp that. That is huge. Okay. Now, this you understand that the FCC and Safety Code 6 to me just went down. This is a perfect opportunity for us. Smart meter plus, and the reason I say plus is there's other things that I brought with me to show you. The smart meters have, when they sold them to us or they brought them to us, they said what? They said, here you are, here's your smart meter, it's going to save you money, goodbye. That was it. Does anybody know any more about smart meters than that when you got them? No. Huh? Pardon me? They just put them in. Yeah, they didn't say anything. There's two microwave transmitters in that smart meter, okay? There's a land area network, 900 megahertz, and there's a Zigbee, 2.4 gigahertz. This is microwave radiation. Does everybody know what microwave radiation does? It cooks you, okay, from the inside out. Okay, now, also, you have to understand you're fighting three things. You're fighting the land, the Zigbee, and dirty electricity. There's a guy named Sam Milham. He wrote Dirty Electricity, and that's very damaging. So you're dealing with three problems there. So you always have to keep that in your mind. The nice thing about a Faraday cage is it protects you from all those when you go into it. You have to understand that the 900 megahertz land will transmit for miles. Every time that thing transmits, I call it fires, it goes for miles. The Zigbee might go for 300 or 400 feet. The Zigbee is really a lot more damaging at 2.4 gigahertz. But the point is, do you understand that all that radiation is going through you? It's every time it fires, you're getting full body radiation going through you, depending on how close you are to that meter. Within 10 feet, is my understanding from Cindy Sage report, that you probably get burned. You're getting damaged. Okay, so you have to understand that this stuff is going through you. It goes through walls. It goes through everything out there. So there's a guy you have to look up named Curtis Bennett, thermal guy. He's just been really strong in fighting this with Jerry Flynn. Jerry Flynn, you need to look at. You go to we're Stop Smart Meters in Oklahoma.org. StopSmartMetersInOklahoma.org. You can go to that. Amanda's is kind of sponsoring us. She's put it all up. She's just been a big blessing because we were just a group of people, maybe 4, 5, 6 people came together and we started all this. We're just like you all. You know, we just have some damage, a lot of people with damage. So you understand they had some testimonies with a power company in Canada just within the last month, and Curtis was cross-examining them. And you have to understand, a normal house has got a 60 cycle per second current, you know, plus, minus, okay, it changes polarity. Do you understand that these meters go at 900 million cycles per second and 2.45 billion cycles per second? So that means none of these frequencies are compatible with any kind of life. So these things, and then you have to understand there's a mesh grid network where all the houses talk to each other constantly in your neighborhood, constantly. That's called a mesh grid network. These meters are going off 190,000 times a day to stay in contact with each other, all right? So you can see that if you go in a neighborhood, it's just like there's a fog of electromagnetic radiation in that whole area, all right? But the trouble is what? You can't see, touch, feel it, can you? You don't even know it's out there, do you? You don't even know you're being cooked by it. That's the problem. Okay, so those three things you're dealing with. Now, let me show you something, all right? This is, we're going to turn this on and just kind of show you we have a Wi-Fi over here. See, I have to have this. Just a minute. Sure. Okay. I want you to listen to this. This is a Wi-Fi. My meter is pegging right now at 200 microwatts. Right now. All right, now watch. I just unplugged it. So you didn't even know what was happening, did you? Okay. Is yours off? Okay. If you turn everything on, this this was paid 200 microwatts. Right now, it has dropped to
About 3.5.
it's going to go lower than that. 3.5. That's down to 2. We did this earlier, and it got down to 0.4. All right? You see what I'm saying? Okay, there's a smart meter in this building, because if you listen to this, it drops low down to 2.1. You'll hear it kind of, hey, and what that is that smart meter going on. Okay? And there's things, I can go into a business and I'll walk out and say, you got Wi-Fi, you don't have to tell me, I'll find it. And I'll go in and find it for people. I mean, that's how bad it is. Okay. Now, I just want to show that to you. If you need to really listen to Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, okay? I've gained a lot of free things. Okay, now listen to this. This is a deck phone. Deck phone's a portable phone. Everybody's got them, right? I mean, I don't know if anybody really doesn't. My meter's pegging at 2,000 microwatts. That's a deck phone. Everybody's got one in their house. It goes 24/7. You sleep with this in your house at night. Remember, night's the most dangerous time, the parasympathetic system. All right? Dietrich Klinghardt says it's like sleeping next to a 737 engine with your pillow right there. Okay? That's a deck phone. 2,000 microwatts. Okay, now we're going to show you the baby monitor. It goes 2,000 feet, baby monitor. Microwatts. The mom wears this on her belt or puts it next to her nightstand at night. The baby, right? They have this in the baby's room. It's a camera on the wall aimed at the baby. Now, I've never turned this one on, but we'll see. Sorry, does anybody have a pacemaker in here?
Oh, thank you for remembering.
If you do, you don't want to be in here. Seriously, it'll stop a pacemaker. Okay. Okay. So those tell you late now.
We got a doctor in the house. We got a doctor in the house.
Yeah, we got a doctor. I'm sorry. We talked about that earlier. I guess I should have stuck a thing on there or something. I was in a family's house and their baby wasn't sleeping, and so we went in and I was taking the readings, and we were walking towards, leaving their bedroom, going towards where the baby was, and all of a sudden my meter was on, and it pegged, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? He said, well, I just turned on the baby monitor. So now I have a new baby monitor, and right next to the baby was the deck phone. So now I have a new deck phone, and you know, I have a doctor that had Bluetooth in his ear. He said, here, check this, 2.4 gigahertz. About threw it down. I mean, it was that bad, okay? So there people have wireless Wi-Fi in their houses. You know, the list goes on. So what I'm saying is you bring voluntarily, but you don't know, all this into your home, and you don't know it. So there's ways you can do to help protect yourself. First of all, do that. Okay, now let me show you. Take this with me. We have a microwave oven over here. Okay, now see it's reading 7.86, something like that. We all know microwave ovens are safe, right? But let me ask, who does not have a microwave oven in here? 2? Good girls, and good sir, good for you. Okay, here we go. Get ready. It's only 30 seconds, don't get scared. I'm still pagan at this distance. Pagan, right? See that one? That's over 200 microwatts. It's only going to stay on 30 seconds. And it goes through the walls. I could go the other direction through all the walls. It goes through all the walls too. Okay? Okay, I got to wrap up in 5 minutes, so I'm going to play this for you. Let me turn this off. Yes, it did. Well, I have Jerry Flynn's presentation, and it is a 2-hour presentation. Jerry Flynn was a 26-year veteran in the Canadian military. His expertise was microwave radiation warfare. I don't know if you know it or not, but we are in war, and it's been going on for a while.
Hello, my name is Joe Esposito. We're doing a little research project here. We're using a gigahertz solution meter. It's a 27 megahertz to 2,500 megahertz high frequency analyzer, and the meter is an HFE 35C. They're made in Germany, and we purchased this from Safe Living Technologies in Canada, which is the North American distributor. Today is the Friday, the 4th, 4th month, April, on the 5th day, 2013, and the time is about 12:22. All right, this is going to be some meter readings we're going to take now. We're using the peak setting. We're on 200 microwatts per meter squared. And so let's look at the results here a second now. We're out on the front porch. It appears we're downstream of the information source, radiation flow, and this is more like a waterfall. It's not upstream. We're at the lower end of all that. Here's the meter. You can hear, this is the volume here. This is the meter settings, and you can read the meter readings here. You can hear the smart meter working on the side of the house, which is about 20-some feet, 30 feet to my south, or to the right of the camera, and around the corner of the house. You can see that when the meter's not. You can see when the meter, I'm going to turn the volume down. You can see when the meter's not firing or transmitting that the readings are relatively low. They get down to like it was 12, I think it was. Now the meter is transmitting, and so it's going over 200 microwatts, and we can go higher to read that on the 2000. But you can see what I'm trying to show here is that the ambient readings are like 13, which is not good still, because if I go to the country, and we'll have other meter presentations to show that, it's more like 1.2 in the country. So when you're in a highly electromagnetic radiation neighborhood, like we are with electromagnetics, the smog back and forth from the mesh grid network, and then all the other, we have a cell tower to our south and one to our north, about maybe 3/4 of a mile each way. But right now you're seeing how the meter is pegging or transmitting. And now I'm going to switch it to the 2000 so you can kind of see how much the reading really is. So it's going to take a minute for it to settle down. So let's see what it does when it fires this time or transmits. Okay, see that it's dropping back down to the ambient reading. Now there's two transmitting radio microwave transmitters in that meter. So it runs the LAN 900 megahertz and the Zigbee at 2.4 gigahertz, both very damaging. And these are pulsing 24/7. And at my house, you'll have to see, looks like the meter reading this next time when it transmits, we'll see maybe about 300 microwatts per meter squared. See, there we are. 354, I think, was the high. But you can see that. But what I want to point out, there's 379. There's 399, so it's pushing 400. Okay, now we're going to go back to the 200, and you'll hear it pegging. The point is, we'll do one more transmission. I'll let you clock this yourself if you want. They goes off every 30 seconds at this house where I'm at, and it stays on for 17 to 20 seconds. So this is things going off. It could be 190,000 times a day. And see, they don't tell you any of those things. Okay, so you can kind of, we're taking the time out there. Okay, see it quit. Now that it'll go back down the radiation levels. Okay, well, we'll sign off now. This is just a experimental run here. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, I think I'm done, right?
I think we're all done.
Yeah, but I want to encourage you. There's a class action lawsuit that just started on all this. If you think you've been damaged, let us know. Listen to this is Bioinitiative report. 1,400 pages, 1,800 new scientific studies, includes 29 independent scientists, medical experts from around the world, 14 points, evidence. These are what's reported. Sleep problems, insomnia, difficult sleeping, night walking, nightmares, stress, agitation, anxiety, irritability, headache, sharp pain or pressure in the head, ringing in the ears, ear pain, high-pitched ringing, concentration, memory or learning problems, fatigue, muscular, physical weakness, disorientation, dizziness or balance problems, eye problems. It attacks oval things first, your eyes, testes, and ovaries. It's actually sterilizing your children. Okay. Eye problems, you can see pressure in the eyes, cardiac symptoms, heart palpitations, heart arrhythmias, chest pain, leg cramps or neuropathy, arthritis, body pain, sharp stabbing pains, nausea, flu-like symptoms, sinus problems, nosebleeds, respiratory problems, cough, asthma, skin rash, face flushing, urinary problems, endocrine disorders, thyroid problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, changes in menstrual cycle, hyperactivity or change in children's behavior, seizures, cancer. Are you getting the picture? It's not good. Sir?
Yeah, what's the name of the lawsuit? Right.
They're all bad. There is no good meter. Trust me, they're all the same. The lawsuit, if you go to stopsmartmetersonoklahoma.org, my number and phone number is under the contact. The attorney is Don Powers, and he's in Edmond. That gentleman that spoke from Edmond probably knows him. Don Powers? Yeah. Right. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.